So I'm Bryant. I'm an extraterrestrial contactee from Portland, Oregon, for people who don't know me. And I was just having a CE2 telepathic contact experience with an Agarthan. Being I know as Agarthan, who I associate with the star of Aldebaran. So in Agarthan discussions, sometimes they're associated with different stars. These are Aldebaran Agarthans. And one of my contacts, I don't know if they want to use nicknames. If they have a given name, they haven't used a given name with me. I have a nickname for her. Was relating to me about a being from Australian Aboriginal folklore called Wangina. Now, I'm certain Wangina represent an extraterrestrial being that was in contact with Aborigines, and that Wangina souls haunt the earth. I am completely certain that Wangina is a being that can fly out of this forest to the northwest of Mount Shasta in what you might call an egg UFO and just fly out of the forest like, hello, Wangina. I'm sure Wangina can do that. I'm 100% certain. I'm trying to remember what national forest that is. It's the one to the northwest of Mount Shasta that's kind of connected to here where I live in Oregon. And they don't make a sonic boom when they're doing this somehow. Somehow their craft just like, they can just appear. Like, hey, just like, I don't want to say like quantum superposition. Like, hey, I'm superposed over here. It's really awkward with Wangina in science right now. And if people want to believe them different than Dogu, I don't think they ever say, go to Japan and offend against Dogu society. And people notice the archetypal similarities between the legend of Dogu in Japan and the Wangina in Australia. I'm sorry I don't have editing software on my phone, so I can switch to like a slide here and show my class. Here's the slide. Might be time to adjust my computer for these lectures. So whatever's going on with the Agarthans associated with Aldebaran, if they don't direct Aboriginal study, what they never ever do is that they say, go to Wangina caves and interfere in Wangina society. They were just reminding me, this is getting closer to bedtime for me here, we never ever say to go interfere with Wangina society, and that includes Aboriginals who worship Wangina. If white power people in Australia were, I noticed I got a letter about this in my inbox, and just like a mailing list I was subscribed to, that white power people in Australia were interfering with Aborigines. And I was wondering, oh, this is an Aborigine involved in Wangina society? Whatever's going on is the Agarthans didn't tell them to do that. Aldebaran associated Agarthans didn't tell them to do that. And I think that was just it for evening announcements. I think that was just it. You know, my Agarthan contact was just having, hey Brian, would you mind doing an evening address? And I felt like, sure. So you never say to interfere with Wangina society. I hadn't heard that. Apparently, with these circles having mingled by way of Bailey Meyer, and in some of Bailey Meyer's most recent public addresses, he mentioned he associates a civilization contacting him with the star of Aldebaran. Those associated with the star of Lyra, they never say, if they have a craft that appears similar to those from Aldebaran, and the Hannibal kind of craft that has like the 3 domes underneath, never ever say to interfere in Wangina society in a negative way either. Even if the Lyrans don't direct Wangina summoning, they don't say, go to a spirit work altar and summon Wangina and try to summon Wangina souls, or do like you don't have to work with don't say white man spirit work altar. You can do that in an Aboriginal way. You can play didgeridoo until Wangina souls appear, or there's other ways one can attract Wangina into one's life. You can interact with somebody who has Wangina in their life, and Wangina might attract to you. They tend not to be displeased by didgeridoo. No, nice didgeridoo music tends to not be upsetting to them, and to say the least. But violence against the Aborigine or against the shaman does. Violence against the shaman is not permissible. And so then it's awkward with Wangina and fallen angels, I think. Because basically this Aldebaran Agarthan society does allow the study of what might be considered fallen angels. Where, say for example, you're interested in Druidism, and you go, some of that's fallen angels, where in Celtic Druidism that might be the Tuatha De Danann. They never say to interfere with Tuatha study from this Agarthan group, and they never say to interfere with Norse god study if you consider Norse gods also fallen angels, and therefore forbidden. This Agarthian society never says to interfere in people's lives who are engaged in the study of Norse gods or those other gods. And I think one gene fall in the same category, but I don't know if one gene is special because they can just come flying out of nowhere in the egg UFO like that. And so that's a one gene of personal transport pod, to my understanding, and this is maybe not the only craft that they have access to. Is the one gene of personal transport pod? Where hello, here I am in my egg. It's really awkward with and I don't know if there are any other evening announcements from the Agarthans right now that contact me. And so I guess that's just it for now. Have a fine evening, video audience.